That's it.
So they shouldn't say, how are you?
No, you cannot. Oh, Vanessa, she never greets. Please do not smell the food.
I'm Vanessa Kanbi.
And I'm Chuvon.
And we are going to bring you the cultural etiquette here in Ghana.
So that you're able to move freely and hopefully not offend anyone in Ghana.
You're going to find out some things that you would have never thought of. So make sure you stay to the end. Okay, so we're actually here in Independence Square, where Ghana declared its independence, or Kwame Nkrumah declared Ghana's independence in 1957. The first cultural etiquette thing that I had no idea about is the handing over with your right hand. I found this out the wrong way.
Yeah.
I basically was in a pharmacy, I was a teenager, and I was trying to hand over money with my left hand. And they just wouldn't take it. I don't know what was going on. I was like, I'm trying to pay for this thing. They're just not taking the money.
And then they won't say nothing.
Yeah.
It's like they're waiting for you to figure it out and switch to the right. Even me as an indigenous person, I get that a lot with the local buses. Like sometimes your right hand is full, you try to pay with your left and the mate will not take it. Like, so it has to sink in for a minute and then you're like, okay. You hand over with your right before they take it.
So what is the reason behind this? Why do you have to hand over everything with your right hand?
Okay, so they believe that the left hand is used for, you know, the number 2 and all those like nasty stuff when you use the washroom. So it's like a kind like a disrespect, because most of the time you use your right for all the good things. That's what we think. Use your right for the good things, and this is for all the bad things.
It's seen as like disrespectful and sort of dirty.
Yeah, and also dirty. Yeah, that's the main reason.
What is another very important thing?
That is the number one. Greetings. I think anybody who is coming to Ghana, you've watched any video concerning the Ghanaian culture, you know how important greetings is to the people of Ghana. Like, you cannot see somebody and not greet them, and you have to greet them at every point in the day. Like in the morning, you have to greet the same person. You have to greet in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. You can't say because you greeted them in the morning, you know, you're not going to greet them in the afternoon, because it's a different phase of the day. So you also have to greet them in the afternoon and in the evening. And even if you're going to a shop to buy something, you have to greet the person. You can't just go and say, can I have toothpaste? Like, they'll be waiting for you. And the funny thing is, we are always waiting, like as if you know what to do. You know, we are not going to tell you you have to greet. We are just waiting for you to greet. So they'll be just standing there waiting for you to greet. So greetings is the number one most important cultural etiquette.
And I think the good morning, good afternoon and good evening, when I'm in the UK, I wouldn't call somebody and start with good morning or good afternoon. I would just say hi. But here, people do expect you to say the time of day.
If you realize, when I texted you, I said good morning. You cannot just go straight to the point and say, okay, hey, this and that. You have to greet. Even if you forget to greet, after the whole discussion or whatever, you still have to like greet. They may not say it the first time, but they are definitely paying attention. And then one day they'll be like, oh, Vanessa, she never greets. Like, so greetings is very, very important to the people of Ghana. So please, when you come to Ghana, make sure you're greeting. Just prepare yourself to greet, okay?
Yvonne, if I was coming to visit you at your house, what is the procedure?
As a sign of courtesy, you can come along with something. It's not really demanded, but it's just nice. Food, drink, anything edible. When you knock and they ask you to enter, you have to ask them, can I bring my shoes inside? Because most people, because of dust, you know, and the mud and stuff like that, people don't usually use the same slippers inside their rooms. And then you also ask to sit. So you don't just enter and then you take a seat. You have to ask them, can I sit? then they'll offer you a seat. And
another thing that I've realized and that I've learned is that if an elder especially offers you a seat, you should sit down.
yeah, you have to.
So you
Like,
can't be like, oh no, I don't want to sit down, or no, I'm fine standing. Like if an elder says, please take a seat,
you have
need
to.
sit.
Yeah, that's very true. You have to. And then you greet the person, and the rest is just the conversation.
And so let's say now we're getting onto food. You've arrived at somebody's house and there's food there. Something I learned as well is if you're offered food, you should eat it.
Yeah.
Like is it seen as rude to say no, I don't want it, or
Yeah.
I'm not hungry, or something like
If
that?
you feel like you are not too hungry, you can just say, oh, it's too much. Can you just give me a little bit of that, so
Okay.
that you don't waste the rest? But even that, they'll tell you just eat,
Yeah.
and then we'll just keep the rest. So you don't have a choice. You just have to, especially if it's an elderly person. That's where all these things are very important. With your peers, I mean, it's so important, but you can always have your way around that. But when it comes to an elderly person, you just have to follow the rules, So you have to eat when they offer you the food. And then, please do not smell the food. I am so guilty of that.
I'm now thinking back at every interaction I've had with food, because I like to smell food before I eat it to kind of get an idea.
Yeah, it just puts me in the mood, but you cannot do that.
Getting on to kids. I have kids. What is expected of kids?
Well, kids are generally just, you don't say much. So, especially with greetings, you have to greet an elderly person. Like anybody older than you see them, you have to. Your mother, whether she's not related, on the street, you have to greet. Like in your neighborhood, you have to greet them. And then when you greet, please do not ask an elderly person how they are doing.
What age does that, so let's say my children who are 4 and 8, so they should just say, good afternoon, auntie.
Yes.
And we could get onto the aunties and uncles actually later. So good afternoon, auntie, and
that's it.
There.
That's it.
So they shouldn't say, how are you?
No. You cannot. Even with me, like if I have to say it, I have to be sure the kind of relationship I have with the person.
Oh, okay.
But an ordinary person, I wouldn't greet them and ask them like, how you doing? I just greet and I move on. They would have to ask you, how are you doing? And then you respond, and that's it. You don't ask an elderly person how they're doing.
Why is it that you
wouldn't? Because they'll ask you, do you take care of me? Like, why are you asking me how I'm doing? Okay, so if I tell you I'm not fine, what are you going to do about it? You see, that's
yeah.
But it's assumed that as an elderly person, they can change
they can
your life.
You.
Yeah, so if they ask you and you're like, oh, I'm not well, maybe I'm hungry, they can buy you food,
right.
But you cannot do it for them. So then why are you asking them how they are doing?
Just
so that's
for no reason.
So you just greet and you leave it there. They will ask all the questions, you just answer, and that's it. But if it's your parents or you're very familiar with the person, but kids at that age, no,
they shouldn't
4 and
really.
8.
But I guess kids, generally, children in Ghana, is it a seen but not heard situation?
Kind of. Yeah.
Like they really shouldn't answer back.
No.
They shouldn't really ask questions.
You don't talk back, you don't ask questions. Yeah.
So
like
even if somebody asked you something and you didn't know the answer, the child shouldn't say, but why, or why should I do that? That's seen as not good.
Yeah,
right?
disrespectful. Yeah. You're seen as a disrespectful child.
So you should just listen.
Just listen.
When it comes to speaking to people older than you, hear people say auntie and uncle.
Yeah.
Do you just call everyone auntie and uncle that's older than you?
Auntie, uncle,
grandma.
If you know their names, then you can add the name.
After.
But if you don't know their name, just a sign of respect, you just say auntie or uncle or grandmother. And then some people also get offended if they're an auntie and you call them grandma. Then it's like, I am not. So you have to be careful. Unless you're very old, then you call them grandma. Depending on your age also.
Okay.
But if it's like 35 to say 50, that's maybe auntie or mom.
Oh, right. So you could call somebody else mom. It
doesn't really mean that like they are
That's
your
your mom.
Yeah.
Relationships. Let's say somebody who's never been here before comes along, finds a man, woman, whatever. What is the etiquette around relationships here?
The main thing will be the PDAs. You definitely cannot display public affection.
Is that anywhere?
Yeah, basically. Even among your peers.
Your face, you look disgusted. You're like,
even among your peers, still it's like and then if they are like your friends and they are not in a relationship and you're in a relationship alone and you are all over the place, some people will be jealous, some people would say a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So it's just we tend to have like negativity around displaying your relationship.
okay.
You know, people will just be like, very soon it will end and stuff. Like we have I think
like
it's like
superstition.
Thank you, that's the word.
So if you're displaying it, showing
yes,
off,
some
then
people are envious, jealous, and all that.
So it's like a sort of like evil eye onto
thank
the
you. So
relationship.
that is one reason why they will tell you to just keep it a secret with pregnancy and all those things. We have a lot of superstitions here. So
so with pregnancy, what?
With pregnancy, you cannot. First of all, if it's early, you cannot be telling people like, you guys, when you're pregnant, hey, I'm pregnant.
You guys, I'm mixed in.
Like, everybody, I'm pregnant. Everybody knows from the no here. Oh my gosh, you have to, even before you post, if you're a social media person and you have to post, it's after you've given birth. You post your pregnancy pictures.
Okay. I mean, I think that's quite a smart idea. I never posted a lot during pregnancy. I maybe posted towards the end. Maybe a picture.
But yeah, it's because of the superstition. Like,
and people may be like thinking badly about you or
you
thinking
may lose. You can't show your belly. You know, you have to wear this loose thing, cover up. So that's with the relationship, that's just it, the PDAs. And when you think you're serious, then you can introduce them to your family.
How do you get out of a situation where you've not meant to be disrespectful, but people are finding it disrespectful?
What I would do is just sit in, taking whatever they are saying, and at the end, you just apologize. Like, okay, I'm sorry, I won't do that again, and then you leave.
That's it. Yeah.
Even if you don't like it, that's like the best way to get out of any situation.
If I was to go to, let's say, a Queen Mother's house or a chief's palace or something like that, is there a way in which you have to greet people?
Yes. If it's a gathering and there's a prominent person, you'd greet that person first.
Okay.
So, for example, it's like a traditional wedding, and then you have a queen mother in there. You would greet the queen mother first. But if they are seated like in a circle or a straight line, you would first go and greet the queen mother. It doesn't matter where she's seated, or the king, wherever they are seated. You greet them first. You come back to the line, then you have to greet from your right.
Okay. So you would come and greet this person, this person.
Thank
this
you.
person.
You have to greet them individually from the right. You have to greet them individually. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Times are moving on. The older generation is moving on. Do you think that these traditions will stick into the next generation?
Yeah, it will. But then the intensity
will be reduced.
will be reduced. Yeah, because.
So do you expect the same from young people?
Because I did it, so I expect them to do the same.
Respecting people, basically, that seems to be it.
That's
like the underlying message throughout all these things.
Yeah.
One thing that I've noticed is people say yes please, no please, that sort of thing.
Sorry, yes. With the please, it's just like a sign of respect. You know, so when an elderly person asks you a question, instead of just saying yes or no, it's too raw. So you just add please to it. So yes, please, no, please. Even with your name, sometimes when they ask you like, what's your name? Please, my name is this and that and that.
Okay.
So it's just a sign of respect for the elderly person. And then thank you. it's also very, very important. When somebody does something for you, you have to appreciate it. Then you say thank you. Then with sorry, sorry is just like when you hit somebody accidentally, you have to apologize. You know, when somebody hit themselves and you're around, just like a sign of what's empathy. Yeah, sign of empathy to the person. Then you say, oh, sorry.
I feel like I did that before I moved here as well. If somebody hurt themselves, I would say sorry.
Say sorry.
Because you feel bad for their situation.
Yeah, exactly. You feel bad for their situation. Or if you do it to somebody, like here on the streets, if even you're walking on the street with people and you just like accidentally step on them, you have to turn back and apologize. Even if they are going, like you have to show something like a sign of remorse.
So thank you so much for sharing all of this on my channel. It was really amazing to learn new things. And if anybody doesn't already follow Truvon,
please go and follow me, subscribe to my channel, okay? Truvon. Truevonne, Truvon. I do videos on Ghanaian culture, tradition, festival, food, anything culture related in Ghana and hopefully in Africa. So please go check me out and extend some love. And I don't know when you're going to watch this, but tomorrow is my birthday. Tomorrow is 2nd September. So show me love by subscribing to my channel.
Please, let's all go over to Truvon's channel. Put a link in the description below. You can click on it and subscribe. It's free.
Yeah,
and if you haven't done so already, please do hit subscribe on my channel.
Yeah.
So many people that watch my videos aren't
They don't
subscribed.
subscribe. I don't know why they don't subscribe. Like, it's free, guys. Just click on it, like, and then you're done, okay? And then the bell icon also, make sure you're turning it on so that anytime we post a new video, you will be notified.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.
Bye.